I'm looking at the max chart at the moment. Just have a look at these. Get rid of that now. What's this anchored VWAP? Okay, so the anchored VWAP from the all-time low is above the point of control now. So the point of control is now even more powerful. That's an observation that I've just made now. The anchored VWAP. So that's the average volume weighted the volume weighted average price. So it's anchored from the all-time low, which means that it's the volume from the all-time low to current price action. At the moment, the average price is 3.2 cents, which is above the point of control. The point of control is already a strong support level. And now we have the anchored VWAP from the all-time low. So I think the point of control is easily going to be the next amazing entry if anyone's interested in catching the dip, for sure. I don't see, I'm just cleaning my charts as well. Just to get that, it's fine. It's fine, all right. Nope, I don't see anything there. This trend line is broken, nothing there. David's messing up out of my trend lines. So annoying. We have a little bit of this trend line is, yeah, that we have a little bit of a trend line here. Have to see how that looks on the other charts. There's a little bit of a trend line here, and it's like a neckline. And this could tie into that that harmonic that you drew out. You drew for me yesterday. Let me go to the other chart and see. Was it on KuCoin? All right. Not 100%. There is some kind of trend line here. If that is the value area high as well. I mean, look, that is possible. Huh? We have another push up, and it doesn't get so far. It's going to form a bullish bat, but I don't think anyone's going to be happy about that. That's going into the 786. The golden pocket would be back at this This is the KuCoin chart. Golden pocket would be back at this yeah, that's the thing, like we're going over this this SR flip, which is this 236 line. I think that's a really important line on the KuCoin chart. Let me mark it off. But the 382 is coming to the value area high of the KuCoin volume profile, which would also connect this top trend line. Like there's a little bit of confluence there, and if we do manage to go up somehow, and actually it could be just as aggressive as before, like it could be there, it could be like, could it be like this? No. Could be like that. You could or you could just range here. Go up like that. Bam, one more. Like that. Drop down to there. Excuse me, sorry, I don't know. You can't trade this harmonic unless we go up to the C and we get a rejection. When you get a rejection at the C, then you can sell and look to target the D for a reaccumulation. I don't know if I would target the D, because I think the point of control is going to be really a strong level, but you never know. And that might coincide with Bitcoin actually, because the halving's in April. Are we going to get a pullback on this because of Bitcoin? Because all the capital is going to flow into Bitcoin until Bitcoin goes up, and then this starts to move again, and we're still in the lows basically. But if we do go up like that and reject off that trend line, they're very possible. If we come underneath this level here, we're making a lower low. So ideally we want to hold above it. So I think maybe the point of control, that'll be just underneath the golden pocket. But this is what you want. You want to go down as far as possible without making a new low to form a nice bullish bat. Even if you do make a lower low here, you know, that's your higher. This could be your lower low to go up. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen actually. I can't predict it. I just do know that on the higher time frame, I get rid of these. There's a few things going on. We've clearly broken that line. So if we do come back, would you come back to test it? But it'll be quite deeper to come back to test it, you know, like when do you come back? So it depends on when we get up there, if we get up there, you know. You come back to back test this line one more time. Do we get up there by March? We have to see, and I think this is going to really depend on Sensei as well, because we are expecting Sensei to launch by the end of February. I think this month we are expecting a little bit of a rally, maybe for 4 weeks. Now we have to see how strong this rally is, because if it's weak, then we're just going back down again. Then we could be going down to backtest this breakout line. And actually that is a bullish harmonic. On the higher time frame, we are forming some sort of bam, bam, bam. We get, I mean, we get this does, like, this looks like an inverse head and shoulders, right? It really does. We've made our lower, we've made our head, and now we're forming the right shoulder. So this looks like an inverse head and shoulders, right? But if we form that harmonic, it's gonna look like it's gonna look like a failed inverse head and shoulder, because we're going back down again. I don't like that harmonic. Doesn't make sense to me. It's in play potentially if, so this harmonic is in play only if we reject at the C, right? So I want people to realize that I'm not trading this harmonic unless there's a reaction at the C, which is a clear rejection from the VAH and this trend line that I've drawn, right? So I am keeping an eye on this. Yeah, if you see a reaction, when we eventually get up to there, and the timing has to be correct as well. It can't just be like whenever. It has to be, this harmonic is based on time, so you have to have the right balance in the way it hits that location. It has to be on par with time. And so if we get that kind of harmonic at the C and we get a little clear rejection, then I think I will probably scale back a little bit, because the drop is quite a lot, you know, like even if you catch it when it's coming down to the D, you're talking about a 63% drop potentially. I think for 63% after you've completed the C on a harmonic, which is bullish but still requires a drop for 65.3% to complete, I think you would scale down and let it play out before you re-enter. And I think that's what you'd want to do, right? You'd want the price to go up there. If you see a reaction and it's not really pushing above this value area high, I think you would sell, and you'd look to reaccumulate back there for a big push up, you know, wouldn't you? And you probably wouldn't wait down there. You'd start limiting in just in case it, you know, you just don't know. You wouldn't want to be out of, and you wouldn't go all out and all in, you know. I'm only talking about maybe a moderate percentage, you know, and if everyone did that, then it would be fine. You know, it's not, the burden's not on one person to do that, because ideally what you're looking for is capital to come down at the D to push it up. Then that will be it. That will be the bullish harmonic, because now you're expecting this. Now you're finally expecting a massive push up. But I think this is only if the C resists. Otherwise we are making some kind of higher time frame head and shoulders. And do we go up like that? Do we get the volume injection to push up? Obviously the timing is all wrong. So I mean, this is all going to be based on Sensei, really, like how successful Sensei is, how much the marketing is, how effective the marketing is, there's a lot of things that are going to play to this kind of price action behavior that we could expect. Like if we don't get that kind of bang and the launch isn't like as impressive as we hope, then the sentiment's going to change very quickly. So we have to see what the sentiment's like. If we get delays, again, that's going to cause negative sentiment. You know, if we're expecting Sensei to launch and the price is kind of working its way up and then suddenly delayed by 4 weeks or 6 weeks, or, you know, you're going to get another sell-off, aren't you? So I think all of that matters. We have to see how that plays out. So there's a lot of things that are dependent upon what's happening with Dtravel at the moment. We have to see how that plays out. But ideally what you want is you want volume to break this line. You know, these trend lines, when they form, you need volume to get through them. That would be a really nice head and shoulders break if we get that, because I don't know how you would draw the neckline, the target, but from the break to the neck, from the break to the head, you're looking at 40 cents potentially. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to do this, to predict the future. We have 13 hours on this 3-day candle. This looks like a reversal. It looks like a bearish reversal, but it's not, because we're just in a range, you know, like just bear that in mind. You look at that and you think bearish, but actually probably not, because if we close roughly at this level now, we'll probably just go up tomorrow. So just don't get bearish. And already I can see the price is starting to come up a bit, you know, like this is what I was saying yesterday, you know, that you need market sells to go down, and once the market selling is exhausted, you're hitting like liquidity levels, then the price will just go back up again. Yeah, so just don't get too bearish when the price moves down. Look at these as opportunities to buy. I bought a lot yesterday. I don't know, I think I bought about, I mean, a lot is subjective, right? But I think I bought about 90,000 tokens yesterday. So if everyone does that, we can destroy the bears. Eventually what's going to happen is the price will exhaust at these levels. You know, you have to understand that that's how it's going to work. Eventually you'll run out of token at 3.7 cents. Eventually in the future, no one is going to be selling at those prices, you know, and it will just keep on going up. And it's a slow process at the moment, but the higher it gets, the more bullish people will be, and the less willingness they will have to sell, you know. So at the moment people are still like thinking, well, it's not going up, I can just trade it a little bit. Once you start getting some kind of impulsive break, I think you're going to see people, less and less people willing to sell, simply because the price keeps on going higher and higher, and they're not going to sell because they don't want to miss out on the move. So everything is in anticipation of the big move, the impulsive move, which we haven't had yet. And I think once we get into the impulsive move, you're going to see very little selling. and it's just going to be all buying. If anything, people are going to be trying to push the price up as much as they can. So you'll see an increase in volume. But no one really knows when that's going to happen. And I think the most annoying situation for everyone is going to be this. I'll show you. Don't know how this is going to really annoy people, because you're drawing no, potentially, but could you be forming some kind of, who knows, like a really extended triangle just at these price ranges, like just whatever. That's going to really annoy people. It doesn't annoy me, but it will annoy people. And I think the reason why people are going to get annoyed is because they're going to be looking at like RNDR, and already since September 23, it's 250% up. Or Rio, let me look at Rio. You can look at Rio. Already since October, it's 400% up, and it's holding. This is it's consolidating above a previous high. So it's holding. It's a bullish consolidation above a previous high, and that's why people are going to get. People are getting annoyed because they're looking at other tokens, and the tokens have already, like, they've left. Like Rose. Look at Rose. It's literally impulsed out of the lows, and out of the lows, it's up 180%. And these are like higher market cap tokens. They're not even micro caps. If you go to a micro cap, I've shown you this before. It's a shit coin, like the shittest of them all, Agoras Credit. And from the lows, these lows here, to current price action, it's like a 10x. To the top of this range where it hit the golden pocket, it went up 20x. So I think a lot of people are getting frustrated. And then when you look at these like really shit coins, like these ultra shit coins, these meme coins, which have no value, absolutely no value, from November 23, this rubbish coin, Myro the dog, did a 22x, from November. So that's what's going to frustrate people. That's what's frustrating people. And let me tell you what the solution is. Like, I think people need to, I think if you're getting frustrated because Myro the dog is doing a 20x since November, let me mark out November for us here. This is November here. So Myro the dog has done 20x, a shit coin, a meme coin, a Solana shit coin, and we're basically not even half an x. We're only 60% up, whereas Myro the dog has done a 2000x. If we had done a 20x, our current price action from November, we'd currently be trading at 50 cents right now. So if this had followed the path of Myro the dog from November, we'd be about 50 cents right now instead of 3.7 cents. All right. Of course that's frustrating for most people. Of course that is. Right? But I think the strategy for people to contemplate is diversify. Don't go all in. Yeah. If it's not a big deal, like just have more than one, you know, be invested in more. Don't just be invested in TRVL, you know, not every token is going to pump at exactly the same time. And in my imagination, TRVL is my bank because we are at the lows. It's a growing project. The project's growing at an exponential rate when you consider the growth of the value of the bookings and the host acquisition onto the network. That's the fundamentals of the physical network. So in my mind, this is my bank. You know, we are at the lows and this is my bank. Now, if you want to go and speculate on these meme coins, go speculate and then bring your money back into the bank. That's how I'm imagining this. Now, you could imagine Bitcoin as your bank too. But I think this is better because eventually this will explode. Eventually it's going to happen. Eventually it will happen. And what we're seeing now at the lows is a healthy accumulation pattern. Healthy accumulation pattern. And every dip is an opportunity to buy at lower prices. We're above the point of control and we're holding steady above broken trend lines. So I think it's a good idea to view this in that way and then not be 100% in, because of course if you have your value in the bank, you're not expecting it to go down in value, but also you don't necessarily expect it to go up in value suddenly. And then you will diversify in terms of your speculative investments in other tokens, and then when you make profit you can bring it back to the bank. This is the bank. That's how I'm imagining TRVL at the moment. Doesn't mean this isn't going to go up and do its 5-wave impulsive move, yeah, but it will do it when it's ready, and it will do it when the project is ready in the real world, and it's obviously not there yet. And when it does, it's going to be fireworks, yeah, because a lot of those coins which are pumping, they're gonna dump in a very big way eventually. Let me bring it, Miro. Look at Miro. When I analyzed this, it was riding the highs here. You see, I marked it out, and look what it's done. You know, it went down 76%. Okay, so fine, from the absolute lows, it's still up 5x, potentially 4.5 to 5x. Yeah, but a lot of people bought here, and now you have a lot of trap liquidity. Let me have a look at the volume pool to see. So we're back. You see, we're back in the volume range. This is bearish now. This token has now become bearish. Yeah. So I do expect it probably to head back down to the point of control. You're going to have a lot of trap liquidity as the price comes down because you've put in a lot of volume in the higher parts of the price action. And now the price is going down, and the lower it goes, the more inclined people are going to sell because they're not going to allow their positions to go negative balance. And some people came in the lows. They didn't sell the highs of this. They didn't watch my video, because if they watched my video they would have sold. So these people didn't watch my video, and they were expecting higher because they have no idea about technical analysis. That's fine. But the reality is, once the price gets back down to the point of control, most people will sell. Most people will just exit. And it's going to be very difficult to get the price back up because you're going to have a lot of trap liquidity in the highs, yeah? So even though this has had its moment of glory, and it may have another moment of glory in the future, it's possible, the reality is that a lot of people are going to get punished in the process. A lot of people are going to get hurt, and only a few people are going to really profit. A few people who know what they're doing, and actually the few people who know what they're doing are the people with probably the people who founded this coin and have all the capital anyway. They've got the lowest positions, and they're just moving the market around and they're just destroying everyone else, potentially, because most people don't really know what they're doing. I think when it comes to TRVL, we're not going to be in this situation at all, because when I look at like the Bitcoin chart, you know, we're holding steady, you know, in this, on the point of control, in the volume area. So we're basically right now on par with Bitcoin. Right now it looks like we're on par with Bitcoin. Doesn't mean we can't move to the low of the range, but we kind of ranging with Bitcoin at the moment. At the moment, that's what it's looks like we're ranging with Bitcoin. And we're not going to be in that situation with like Miro, because for a couple of reasons. Firstly, a lot of the volume is already at the lows, and we're above the point of control on all the exchanges. And if the price does go back down to the value area low, then I think there's a lot of interest to buy it right back up. And because it's a small market cap, the price will move up really easily. You know, we're not going to be in that same situation. If this was actually to happen, this would be a really nice inverse head and shoulders, you know, and this will break out crazy. If this was to happen, we'd have a crazy breakout. Yeah, it'd be a really crazy breakout if that was to happen. I think then it would just go all the way to the highs really quickly. And then most people will be in healthy profit, and then most people won't close their positions because you've just had a crazy breakout, and then a lot of people will FOMO in, and then you'll start consolidating in the highs. And then eventually, as the bull market continues, you'll be forming some kind of distribution pattern. Yeah, we don't know how the distribution pattern is going to be. We're creating an accumulation pattern at the lows. We'll have a distribution pattern at the highs. It could be a head and shoulders pattern. You know, it could be a double top. It could be some kind of Wyckoff. You know, it could be any of these. Rounding top, some kind of Wyckoff rounding top. You know, you could have an inverse Adam and Eve. You know, you could have any of these topping patterns that form over a long period of time. So we just have to be aware of that. But I think this is a really good position to be in. And if people are stressing, just diversify a little bit. You know, don't go all in. I'm buying TRVL every single day. I've got a large amount of capital to buy the dips, and I'm just treating this as my bank. Not really interested in any other tokens at the moment. Nothing really excites me, to be honest with you. I think everything else for me right now is gambling. So what I will do is I'll trade it. I'll take my profit and I'll move it back to TRVL. I mean, TRVL is gambling. I think TRVL is a sound project. I've proven it. I've tested it and I've proven it. Let me have a look at the Dtravel website. So what they did is they announced yesterday that their token, they've updated their token page. So let's have a look at it together. Here it is. Don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is new. So we know exactly what the distribution of the TRVL is right now. There's 299 at the moment in circulation. 1 billion total. This is the current tokenomics. So this could all change. We just don't know how yet. Here it says, look at this. Total locked, total vested. So the way vesting works, it's a promise for the future. I don't understand how the locked works. I'm a bit unsure. I'd like a little explanation on what the locked means and what the vested means. And then the other thing to note is that circulating is not, doesn't mean it's being traded. It just means it's in circulation. So if you have a community growth fund, which is allocated 250 million tokens, and the community treasury, which is allocated 250 million tokens, and the foundation 200, if they're circulating, they're not actually circulating. So they're not actively trading TRVL. It's not in circulation in that sense. I don't know, like this vested, I'm not sure what the difference between locked and vested is. So I would like to find out. There needs to be some kind of explanation. Now the seed sale, the strategic sale, all three of these sales have been completed, and all of that, this is the circulating tokens. So if you want to know how much is actually circulating for trading, I can do it now for you. Hold on. I've got a calculator. Let me do it now. So we have 100 million plus 70 plus, that was easy, 25. What's it? Plus contributions and advisors, that's plus 8. That's it. So there's 200 million actually in circulation for trading right now, because I've just added up the contributors and advisors and these sales. 200 million, right? So 100 million is going to be in the reserve. $203. Let me just calculate that. Let me just add all these numbers up, because I just want to make sure these numbers work. 24, so circulate. Let me just add all the circulating numbers up to see. 82.98 plus 8.12 plus 25 plus 70 plus 100. All right, so I've just discovered a problem. The numbers don't add up. It sucks when numbers don't add up, doesn't it? So when you add up all the circulating numbers, I think everyone should try this out and tell me what they think, because I can't figure it out. Let me add up all the circulating. 24.62 plus 17.88 plus 82.98 plus 8.12 plus 25 plus 70 plus 100. That comes to 328.6 million. So clearly I'm doing something wrong, because these numbers aren't adding up. So let me just save that number. Let me add up the vested. 137.68 plus 130.13 plus 146.84 plus 46.74 plus, that comes to 461 million. That's vested. Let me write that down. Let me just add that to my memory. So the total so far is 789 million. And then let me just calculate the locked. 112.32 plus 9.87 plus 53.16 plus 58.26. So locked amount. $304. Okay, so that's correct. So the vested numbers at the bottom here work. I'm getting incorrect numbers. I'm getting incorrect numbers. I need someone to help me here because I have no idea how these numbers work. You have a 1 billion supply. I'm probably going to ask Eric later on because at the moment he's the only one that's responding to me. No one else is responding. They're all busy, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. All right. So that's TRVL. So that's new. I guess it's good. Like, let's not be negative. This is positive, but it's a step in the right direction. And this isn't the new announcement that is being announced. I don't think it would be really poor if this was the great announcement. Smitty's asking, when is this big news? It's a good question. James writes, good morning, Dtravel community. We released the TRVL. Right. So I'm just going to make a comment here. I tried to add the numbers and they don't. Could you please clarify the difference is between locked, nested, calculating. Please add numbers themselves to make sure don't. How much did I calculate the numbers to be? Let me just check. So I did let me add the circulating. 24.62 plus 17.88 plus 82.98 plus 8.12 plus 200. So my circulating is coming to 336. Right. So I've put that comment in. Let's see what the answer is. No idea. All right, I did that live. So guys, you see, I'm doing my job. I'm holding Dtravel to account. Let's see what else is written here. Smitty says no catalyst, no token value. All right, Smitty, funny. Never mind. All right, that's that. All right, let me have a look at some other tokens now, I think.